would you call this a midget home or a little person home?
Well, you know, this is the biggest thing I've ever done. My name is Aaron, and I'm building the small, tiny home with passive solar heating. As you can see, we've got 4 3-foot by 6-foot windows. These are going to provide most of the heat in the house. So the concept of passive solar is it's the same thing as a greenhouse. The sun comes through the windows, the heat gets trapped on the inside of the windows and stays there. And that heats on the home. And if it's well insulated, the heat doesn't escape. At nighttime, you put either insulation over the windows or you create a mass at the bottom of the windows which keeps the heat in the house once the sun goes down. So the entire south wall is basically window. And then as you can see, there's skylights at the top. That does the opposite effect in the summer. When you have too much heat, you open the windows and you create what's called a stack effect. And this allows the heat to escape through the top. So let's take a look inside. One thing that a lot of architects don't do, and you might see missing on most of your houses, is an overhang at the entry. Especially in a climate like this, when you're walking into your home and fumbling for your keys, you want something over you to keep the rain off. So what this does is it not only gives you a covering in the rainy weather, but it also extends the bed loft out of the building envelope, giving you more interior space. So inside what we have is a 16-foot long by 8-foot wide space. We're going to have growing area against the windows with clear shelves. We're going to have a kitchen all along the east wall with a window in front of the sink, cabinets on either side, and a pantry, full height pantry. On this side is going to be a tool storage closet. On this side is going to be a tool storage closet, and in front of that is going to be a humidor toilet. On the north side is all going to be bookcases. The advantage of having your clothing storage and your item storage on the north side is it adds an extra layer of material to insulate, because I only have 3.5 inches of wall space to insulate, and so I'm going to put all of the storage over there to add further insulation. 2 of these bookcases are going to rotate. So there's going to be one bookcase on that side. Actually, let me stay on this side. There's going to be one bookcase on this side, which is going to be at 90 degrees for use of the bathroom, but then it's going to rotate, and the bathroom will be out of the way when it's not in use. So it's going to all be bookcase all along here, and then as you get through this side, there's going to be another bookcase, which is going to be the office. That's going to rotate out in case there's a guest. That bookcase becomes a partition, allowing a guest to have a place to sleep. So you have essentially room for 4 people if you needed to sleep in the space. Up here you'll see 3 trusses, which were hand built for this project. Very unusual to build trusses by hand because it's so difficult to do. What that does is it allows me to keep an open space above while still keeping the roof from spreading outwards. What you'll also notice is that there are no trusses over there where the bed loft is, because obviously we need more height. We can take a look at the bed loft if you'd like. So the insulation might be in the way slightly, but you can see we have a skylight on either side, which will allow light into the bedroom and also allow heat to escape in the summer. The most important point about the skylights is that it keeps the bedroom space, which is small, from feeling too cramped. It's like the submarine effect. The other important aspect of this is that all of the structure that you see here came from pallets. It's all recycled wood. We only bought 4 pieces of wood, which need to be continuous for 20 feet. Everything else is either from pallets or from dumpsters or from various other sources. And we just use brackets and straps to make sure it's structurally sound. You might take a picture of this.
Brackets.
This beam. This is what the beam supports the bed loft looks like. It's been sanded and finished. And in a minute I'll show you what it looked like before.
So you found that beam in a dumpster somewhere?
Yep. So So let's take a look at what that looked like before we started. Over here. So the boards essentially looked like this when we started. Not all of the studs, but the one in front of the bed loft. And we just took a sander, cleaned them up, put some acrylic on it, and that's how it came out. The siding you might see here is both the what's called the sheathing, which holds the building in place, and it's also the siding. So it's just one piece of plywood holding it together, and then we're going to just put some trim boards over it. So it's very minimalist. The whole house weighs about 4,000 pounds. And we're about to put the torch-down roofing on, which was chosen because it weighs less than any other roofing material.
So how much is weight a consideration?
Well, you have to keep in mind that a vehicle has to be able to tow this. The heavier it is, the bigger the vehicle you need to tow it.
Yeah.
So I was hoping to shoot for between 2,500 and 3,000 pounds. We're a little over that, approaching 4,000. It's an estimate. So it means we need a slightly bigger vehicle than you might otherwise need, but it's still something that any reasonable pickup truck can haul.
Yeah.
So I did energy calculations for this house, and based on the passive solar, it would need approximately 90 watts per day on the coldest winter temperature of 15 degrees outside. Most days it'll be comfortably at 65 to 70 degrees with no heat source other than at night. And even at night, my body heat and maybe a laptop computer should provide most of the heat for the house.
Huh.
We're looking for sponsors for solar panels, and my goal is to have enough solar power that we can run the whole house with solar and save the energy to be off the grid entirely. We're also going to install rain barrels, so we will not need to be tied to a water source as well. So we started out with a trailer, which was a boat trailer. And the interesting thing about this trailer is that it was ready for the scrap heap. It was so rusty and decrepit that if it had sit outside for another 6 months, it would have been completely useless. I sanded it, brushed it, stripped it, painted it, and added a few more pieces of steel to reinforce it. And now it's supporting the load. So the trailer's recycled, all of the structure studs are recycled, and even some of the wiring is recycled.